Hello friends and my dear students, welcome back to my channel Phoenix Physics. Today we are going to discuss electric flux. Here electric field lines of a point charge is given. You know that for a positive point charge, electric field lines are directed radially outward. Here consider two small rectangular surface element placed normal to the field. Normal means nothing but perpendicular to the field lines. Even though these elements have the same area, number of lines crossing this area A is more than that of region B. Why? Because E is strong near the charge, the density of the line is more near the charge and the lines are closer. See, we have so many closed lines in the region A. This region is far away from the positive charge. Here the field gets weaker, the density of the line is less, resulting in well separated line. See, here I have closed line in the region A. In region B, I have well separated line, and you know that the magnitude of electric field E depends only on the distance, that is E is inversely proportional to R square, which means E decreases as R increases. These properties we have already studied while studying the properties of electric field lines. Now our topic is electric flux. What is electric flux? The number of electric field lines crossing a given area. See, here consider the area A. The number of lines crossing a given area kept normal to the electric field line is called electric flux, and it is denoted by the letter phi E. E means electric field, phi B means magnetic flux. In this region, how many lines are there? At A, I have 8 lines. At B, I have only 5 lines. So, electric flux at A greater than electric flux at B. From this diagram, I have written. E is strong near the source, so the density of electric field lines are more in the region A than in the region B. Electric flux also decreases as distance increases. Here phi is a scalar quantity and the unit is Newton meter square coulomb minus 1. Next topic is electric flux for uniform electric field. Electric flux you know, uniform electric field you know. How do you relate flux and field? Let us see. Look at the diagram. Here I have uniform electric field in the region of space. Consider one small area A which is inclined at an angle theta with E. These horizontal lines are called electric field lines. Then what about this n cap? N cap is nothing but unit vector. And the angle between n cap and E is theta. Why did I mark this n cap perpendicular to the area? See, how do you find out area for a square? If it is square shape means area formula is A into A. Because square has 4 sides, if you want to find out area means A into A is nothing but area. Suppose if I have rectangular shape means, how do you find out area? Area means L into B. Length into breadth is nothing but area of the rectangle. The product of A into A or L into B will give magnitude value of area. Now tell me, area is a scalar quantity or a vector quantity? Area is a scalar quantity only. But in order to explain electric flux, we need area term. In that scenario, we are using area vector. For example, consider a surface A. This is my surface A. So this is L and this is B. So automatically the product of L and B will give magnitude of A. But I said area is a vector quantity. I am constructing or I am defining area as a vector quantity. If it is vector means it has magnitude as well as direction. So L into B will give the magnitude value. What is magnitude? Magnitude means number. So L into B will give the magnitude of A. Then what about the direction? This line, you draw one line perpendicular to the surface. So this is the surface, right? So draw one line perpendicular or normal to the surface, that is n cap. This is nothing but unit vector. Now this L into B will give the magnitude value, this n cap will give the direction. In this situation, area is a vector quantity. If it is L into B alone means area is a scalar quantity. Here this L into B gives the magnitude of area, this n cap will give the direction. If you define the direction to area, it will become a vector quantity. Here I have one surface A. How do you draw the normal? Perpendicular to the surface like this. So this is my n cap. Same way this is my n cap. So n cap is drawn perpendicular to the area. Area here, the area is like this. So area is like this. Perpendicular means like this. So n cap is drawn perpendicular to the area A. And this n cap makes an angle theta with E vector. What is this E vector? Electric field vector. Now you can resolve this theta into two components. One is horizontal component, another one is vertical component. Adjacent side of theta is nothing but E cos theta. The vertical side, this side is nothing but vertical component of theta is E sin theta. Here the component of electric field perpendicular to the area alone contributes to electric flux. What is the meaning? Here I have two components. One is E cos theta and E sin theta. Which one is perpendicular to the area? Here E cos theta is the horizontal component of E. But which component is perpendicular to the area? This n cap, right? So this E cos theta term is perpendicular to the area A. So phi E, electric flux phi E is equal to E cos theta into A. Or you can write EA cos theta. How do you write scalar product? That is E dot A can be written as EA cos theta. If it is vector product means P cross E, you know that vector product or cross product means you can write simply PE sin theta. This is scalar product, so you should write EA cos theta. Here also I have EA cos theta. Instead of EA cos theta, you can write phi E is equal to E vector dot A vector. So the electric flux phi depends on the electric field and the area. This is nothing but electric flux for uniform field. So phi depends on electric field E and area A, and you know that this A is also a vector quantity. Why did I say flux depends on A? Electric field you know, electric field lines you know. What is the use of this A vector? Take a surface and draw one perpendicular line. if you draw this normal means this area will become a area vector. Then what is the use of this area vector, or why did I say area is a vector quantity here? Look at the diagram. In this first diagram, I kept the area perpendicular to the field lines. See, the field lines are horizontal lines. I kept the area perpendicular to the field lines. How do you calculate flux? Flux means number of lines passing through a area. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here the flux is 5. In the next diagram, I am rotating the area, tilting the area. So now how do you calculate flux? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here I have 4 lines. See, again I tilted the area. Now the flux becomes 1, 2, 3. Here 1 and here no lines pierce through the area element. So here phi is equal to 0. That is why I said this flux depends on A vector, because the direction of A is changing, right? Here it is perpendicular and here tilted somewhat some other angle, and finally it is parallel to electric field lines. So A has direction and I am rotating the direction based on the A position. What is this A? A is nothing but area. So based on this area position, flux varies. That is why I said flux depends on electric field and area vector. So actually area is a scalar quantity. If you draw one normal to area, it will become a vector. This is case 1. Suppose consider the uniform electric field like this. I am going to place this area element parallel to the electric field. This is my E line and this is my area element. Both are parallel. Here this is my normal, right? How do you draw this normal? This n cap is nothing but a unit vector. It is always drawn perpendicular to the surface. Now the angle between n cap and E is 90 degree, right? This is my n cap and this is E cap direction. So the angle between n cap and E cap is 90 degree. See, area is parallel to E, but this normal is perpendicular to E. That is why I said the theta is equal to 90 degree. Now you know the formula. Phi is equal to this EA cos theta. Theta is equal to 90 degree means cos 90 0. So phi should be 0. This is my case 2. Now case 3. Consider same uniform electric field like this. Now I am going to place my area element perpendicular to the electric field lines. So this is my area A. So area A is perpendicular to E. What is E? E is nothing but electric field. Now how do you draw the normal? You should draw the normal always perpendicular to the surface. So this is my n cap. So this is my n cap and horizontal line is E vector. Then how do you find out theta? Theta is equal to 0 degree. You know the relation. The flux phi is equal to EA cos theta. Instead of theta you substitute 0 degree. Cos 0 is 1. So phi is equal to EA. In this class we discussed about what is electric flux. Then we derived one formula for uniform field, that is electric flux for uniform electric field, that is phi E is equal to E vector dot A vector, or we can write EA cos theta. This is the relation. Based on this relation we discussed two cases. In our first case, I kept area element parallel to E. So the angle between this n cap and E vector is 90 degree. So your phi is 0. In our next case, I kept the area element perpendicular to E. So angle between n cap and E cap is 0 degree and the flux value is EA. Next topic is electric flux in a non-uniform electric field and an arbitrarily shaped area. Arbitrarily shaped area means randomly chosen area. So here I have non-uniform electric field. So if it is non-uniform electric field means E has different values. Here E1, E2 up to En. So if it is non-uniform electric field means E has different values, that is E1, E2 up to En. This is one irregular shape, right? So here this shape is divided into n number of small area element, that is delta A1, delta A2 up to delta An. All are vector only. So I have divided the entire area into small area element, that is delta A1 vector, delta A2 vector up to delta An vector. If it is uniform electric field means how do you calculate flux? Flux means phi is equal to E vector dot A vector. This is for uniform field. Here we have non-uniform field. So how do you find out the electric flux over the entire area? That is phi can be written as E1 vector dot delta A1 vector plus E2 vector dot delta A2 vector plus E3 vector dot delta A3 vector up to En vector dot delta An vector. How do you generalize this equation? Summation over I is equal to 1 to n Ei vector delta Ai vector. Suppose if you substitute I is equal to 1 means you can get the first term. I is equal to 2 means second term. I is equal to n means you can get the last term. So this is the general formula. Now I am considering this delta Ai. This delta Ai tends to 0. Tends to 0 means not exactly equal to 0. It approaches 0. Under this condition, this delta Ai becomes dA vector. And this summation becomes integration. So how do you write phi? Phi is equal to integral E vector dot dA vector. That's all. So what is this phi? Phi is nothing but total flux over the entire area. Phi depends on electric field pattern and the orientation of the surface with respect to electric field. Or you can simply say phi depends on E vector and A vector. In this topic we discussed about electric flux in a non-uniform field. You know that if it is non-uniform electric field means E has different values, E1 to En. And we have chosen one irregular shape. So this entire shape is divided into small area element. So delta A1, delta A2 up to delta An. Then how do you find out the total flux? Just add all the term. In order to generalize this equation, I am introducing summation. Then you apply the limit. If you apply the limit, summation becomes integration. Total flux over the entire area is phi is equal to integral E vector dot dA vector. So phi depends on E and A vector, or we can say phi depends on electric field pattern on the surface and orientation of the surface with respect to the electric field. I hope this video is useful to you. If you like my video, please share and subscribe my video. Thank you.